Hey everyone, and welcome to a deep dive. Today we're exploring the world of Carl Jung and his book Man and His Symbols.
Ah, yes, Man and His Symbols. Jung actually hoped this book would make his ideas about symbols and the unconscious mind accessible to everyone.
So kind of like a decoder ring for our dreams then.
Exactly. It's really fascinating that Jung actually dreamt of his work reaching a wider audience beyond just academics.
And that dream inspired this very book.
That's right. Talk about a powerful symbol right from the get-go.
Okay, so before we get too deep into the Jungian jungle, let's start with the basics.
Sounds good.
What are symbols in this context?
Right. Well, a good place to start is to think about the difference between a sign and a symbol.
Okay, so like a stop sign.
Exactly. A stop sign is a sign. It's a literal instruction.
Got it.
But symbols, they're different. They're like whispers from our unconscious, packed with layers of meaning we might not consciously grasp.
So not so straightforward.
Not at all. Think of the circle.
Yep.
Across cultures, it represents wholeness, eternity, concepts we can feel but struggle to put into words. That's the power of symbols.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So it's not like we're intentionally creating these symbols then, right?
Right. They're bubbling up from somewhere deeper.
Exactly. Jung believes symbols are a natural language of the unconscious mind, not something we invent.
They appear most vividly in our dreams.
Oh yeah, dreams.
But also in myths art, even everyday life, if we know how to look.
This is already making me rethink all those weird dreams I've had. But hold on, we'll get to those in a bit. First, let's talk about this unconscious mind you keep mentioning.
Sure.
What is it, and why should we care?
Well, it's not just about forgotten memories.
Okay.
Imagine it as a vast, hidden part of ourselves,
Look.
full of instincts, urges, and patterns we're not directly aware of. Think of an iceberg. The tip is our conscious mind, but the massive part underwater is the unconscious driving a lot of what we do without us realizing it.
Okay, starting to get the picture, but how does this invisible force actually influence us?
Well, Jung gives a great example.
Okay.
A man walks by a farm and is suddenly hit with vivid childhood memories.
Wow.
It turns out he subconsciously smelled geese, and that scent unlocked those forgotten experiences.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shows how the unconscious connects things we don't consciously realize.
Wow. So our senses can be like secret doorways to the unconscious. This is fascinating. But okay, let's get back to dreams.
Yes.
If they're not just random, how do we understand what they're trying to tell us?
Well, Jung saw dreams as trying to balance out what's missing in our waking lives.
Interesting.
So, for example, if you're super ambitious in reality, you might dream of failing.
Oh.
Like a message to slow down and acknowledge your limits.
Huh. So it's like our dreams are giving us course correction feedback.
Exactly.
I'm already thinking I need a dream journal.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Jung even believed dreams could be prophetic.
Really?
Oh, yeah. There's a story of a man who dreamt his father died in a house fire. Later, the man himself died of a sudden fever, which was often called a fire in the body back then.
Oh, wow. That's eerie.
Eerie, right?
Definitely makes you think there's more to dreams than meets the eye.
And remember that example of the man who dreamt someone was trying to jump on his back?
Oh, yeah. What about that?
Well, Jung realized it symbolized a common Austrian saying, "I don't care what you say about me." The dream was expressing a feeling in a symbolic way.
Ah, so it's like the unconscious is speaking in code and we need to learn its language.
Exactly.
But Jung didn't stop at dreams, right? What about his ideas on personality and those archetypes you mentioned?
Oh, right. Dreams and symbols are the foundation. But Jung developed a whole system for understanding the psyche.
Okay.
For example, his theory of the 4 psychological functions, which are like lenses through which we experience the world.
Okay, so let's switch lenses then and explore those next.
Let's do it.
I'm ready to see what insights Jung has in store. Okay, so those psychological functions, lay them on me. Do they explain why some people are like super logic driven
Yeah.
while others go with their gut?
You got it. It's like we each have these 4 mental tools, but we tend to favor some over others.
Okay, I like that analogy.
So the first is thinking, analyzing, using logic to understand things.
Okay.
Thinkers love evidence and clear explanations.
Ah, the fact checkers of the world.
Exactly. And then there's feeling, not just emotions, but evaluating things based on personal values.
Okay.
Feelers are empathetic, concerned with harmony, the peacemakers in a group.
So a thinker might say, is this true? And a feeler asks, is this right?
Spot on. Next is sensation.
Right.
All about experiencing the world through our senses, focusing on concrete details.
Okay.
Sensates are practical, grounded, enjoying the physical world.
Stop and smell the roses type.
Totally. And lastly, we have intuition.
Okay.
Seeing possibilities, patterns, and connections others miss. Intuitives are imaginative, insightful, drawn to the big picture and the unknown.
Ah, so that's where my gut feelings come from.
Could
I
be.
think I might be a feeling-intuition combo.
It's certainly possible.
So Jung believed we all have these functions, but our preferences shape our personality and how we approach the world.
Right. It's not rigid, more like tendencies.
This is making me see people in a new light. Okay, let's move on to those archetypes.
Yes, archetypes.
They sound like characters in a Jungian play.
That's a great way to think about it. Archetypes are universal patterns of thought and behavior, recurring across cultures and time.
So not just like personal quirks,
Right.
but something deeper, shared by all of humanity.
Precisely. Think of the hero archetype.
Okay.
From Greek myths to modern movies.
Yeah.
It's that figure who overcomes challenges, embodying our collective desire for courage and triumph.
So archetypes are like these universal stories playing out in our lives.
Exactly.
What other characters are in this Jungian cast?
Well, there's the wise old man or woman representing wisdom and guidance.
Okay.
The mother figure nurturing and caring the trickster, disrupting norms and bringing humor. And of course, the shadow.
Shadow sounds ominous. Should I be worried?
Not necessarily. The shadow is the darker side of our personality. Traits we repress or deem unacceptable.
Okay.
But it's not inherently evil, more like unacknowledged potential.
So like our hidden talents and desires mixed in with the stuff we don't like to admit about ourselves.
Exactly. Jung believed confronting our shadow is crucial for growth.
Okay.
Otherwise, it can manifest in unhealthy ways, like projecting our darkness onto others.
That makes sense.
He tells a story of a man who dreamt of a menacing French desperado.
What happened?
Well, at first it felt threatening, but later he realized it also represented his own hidden strength and rebellious spirit.
So even the scary parts of ourselves can hold valuable insights.
Precisely. And then there are the anima and animus.
Okay.
These archetypes get at the interplay of masculine and feminine within each of us.
Wait, so guys have a feminine side and women have a masculine side, psychologically speaking.
Exactly. The anima represents the unconscious feminine in men, and the animus is the unconscious masculine in women. They can cause projection in relationships if we're not aware of them.
Like how so?
Expecting our partners to embody our idealized image of the opposite gender.
So instead of looking for our missing half in someone else, we need to integrate these aspects within ourselves.
Exactly. When we embrace our anima or animus, it brings balance and wholeness to our personality.
This is blowing my mind. It's like Jung is giving us a roadmap to understanding not just ourselves, but the dynamics between people too.
That's a great way to put it.
So is there a final destination on this map?
Well, Jung would say the ultimate goal is to connect with the self archetype.
Okay.
The central organizing principle of the psyche representing wholeness and our unique potential.
So it's like a journey towards becoming our truest selves then.
You could say that.
What kind of symbols represent the self?
Mandalas are a big one.
Mandalas.
Yeah. They often symbolize the process of integrating all those different parts of ourselves, bringing order and balance to our inner world. Jung himself found drawing mandalas helped him connect with his unconscious and navigate difficult times.
So it's not just about analyzing.
Right.
It's about engaging with these symbols creatively too.
Exactly.
This is making me rethink all the art and symbols I encounter in my daily life.
It's all around us. Jung believed art offers a window into the collective unconscious.
The collective unconscious.
Yeah, the shared reservoir of images and archetypes that connects us all. And it's not just art. Even architecture reflects these deeper patterns.
Okay, I'm totally hooked. Let's talk about those connections between art, architecture, and the unconscious.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does art act as this window into the collective unconscious? Seems like a pretty big leap from, say, a cave painting to, like, understanding the human psyche.
Well, it's about recognizing the recurring symbols that appear across cultures and throughout history.
Okay.
Take the stone, for instance.
Okay.
In ancient structures like Stonehenge, massive stones created sacred spaces connecting heaven and earth. That same symbol of permanence of grounding appears in art and architecture even today.
So it's like these symbols tap into something fundamental in the human experience, something that transcends time and culture.
Exactly. And the animal is another powerful one.
Animals, okay.
From cave paintings to indigenous art, animals often represent our connection to nature, to our instincts, to those untamed parts of ourselves.
Right.
It's fascinating how these images still speak to us on such a visceral level.
Yeah, it's like we recognize something of ourselves in those ancient depictions, even if we can't fully explain it.
Definitely.
What about shapes like the circle? We already talked about it conceptually, but how does it show up in art and architecture?
Well, think about circular structures like ancient stone circles or even the domes of cathedrals.
Hmm.
That shape evokes a sense of wholeness, unity, a
Yeah,
connection to something beyond the everyday.
right.
It's no wonder it's been used to create sacred spaces for centuries.
So it's not just aesthetics, it's about creating a space that resonates with something deep within us. What about the tree of life? I've seen that symbol everywhere, from Celtic art to ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs.
The tree of life is a powerful archetype representing growth connection, the interconnectedness of all things. It's often depicted as the axis mundi, the central point connecting heaven, earth, and the underworld.
Wow.
It's like a visual representation of the cosmos and our place within it.
I'm starting to see the world in a whole new light now, like a tapestry of symbols waiting to be decoded. But I'm curious, what did Jung have to say about how modern life affects our connection to the unconscious and all this symbolic richness?
Well, Jung was concerned that our emphasis on rationality, materialism, and external achievements disconnects us from our inner world, from the wisdom of the unconscious. He saw this as a major source of psychological distress in modern society.
So we're so busy chasing external goals that we lose touch with our inner compass.
In many ways, yes.
Wow.
We become fragmented, alienated from our true selves. But Jung also believed the unconscious is always trying to reach us to guide us towards wholeness.
Okay,
Think of the Navajo people who use intricate sand paintings, a kind of mandala for healing rituals. They're literally creating a symbolic representation of wholeness to restore balance.
that's a beautiful image. But how can we, in our busy modern lives, reconnect with the unconscious in this symbolic language? It feels like a daunting task.
It starts with simply paying attention.
Yeah.
Notice your dreams, jot them down in a journal. What symbols keep popping up? Don't overthink it, just observe.
Okay.
Also pay attention to art that moves you, synchronicities that seem to defy logic, and any recurring patterns in your life.
It's like becoming a detective of our own inner world, looking for clues and patterns in the everyday.
Exactly. And don't dismiss those whispers from the unconscious. You can explore them further by researching symbolism, reflecting on how it relates to your life, or even joining a dream group or talking to a therapist specializing in Jungian psychology.
This deep dive has been a real eye-opener. I feel like I've been given a new set of lenses to view the world and myself.
That's great to hear.
Any final words of wisdom to leave our listeners with?
Remember, the unconscious is not something to be feared. It's a wellspring of creativity and insight, a compass pointing you toward wholeness. Listen to it, explore it, embrace its wisdom, and you might be surprised by what you discover.
Beautifully put. This journey into Jung's world has been incredible. Thank you so much for being our guide.
It's been my pleasure.
And before we go, I want to leave our listeners with that 10-point summary we promised of what we covered in this deep dive into Jung's symbolism and the unconscious.
Sounds good.
Number 1, symbols are the language of the unconscious. They carry deeper meaning beyond their literal interpretations.
That's right.
Number 2, dreams are a direct line to the unconscious. Pay attention to recurring symbols and themes in your dreams.
Definitely.
Number 3, the unconscious mind is a powerful force shaping our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors.
Right.
Number 4, dreams often seek to balance out what's missing in our waking lives. Number 5, Jung's 4 psychological functions, thinking, feeling, sensation, and intuition, describe how we each perceive and interact with the world.
Yes.
Number 6, archetypes are universal patterns of thought and behavior that show up in myths, stories, and even our own lives.
That's right.
Number 7, the shadow is the darker side of our personality that we often repress. Confronting and integrating it is crucial for growth.
Definitely.
Number 8, the anima and animus represent the unconscious feminine and masculine sides in men and women. Recognizing these archetypes can bring balance to our relationships and personalities.
Exactly.
Number 9, the self is the archetype of wholeness and integration, representing our truest potential.
Right.
And finally, number 10, symbols in art and architecture offer a window into the collective unconscious, the shared human experience across time and cultures.
Well said.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Keep exploring, keep dreaming, keep paying attention to the world around you, and you might just unlock the secrets of your own unconscious. Until next time.